2023 was the year of AI, at least the way that people have highlighted it.
I think it is here to help the greater good, right? To help the human species.
There's lots of hype about AI, and specifically this year, of course, it was about generative AI, where AI is actually creating things for you.
It's the latest buzzword that people are flocking to have another way to talk about the industry and the growth in the industry.
Greetings and welcome to this first in a series of IMCCA podcasts to wrap up 2023. I'm David Danta, representing the IMCCA today, and I'm with my fellow IMCCA board member, Rich Sassal.
This week's subject is AI, or artificial intelligence, a topic so pervasive that you can't look at social media or read an industry publication without hearing about it. Is it really the collaboration industry's future or just a passing hype storm? Should we be looking forward to the improvements or dreading its influence? Let's hear what IMCCA member firms and industry analysts have to say about it.
I felt a little bit like there was a lot of hype if I go back, let's say a couple of years ago. And remember, I did a PhD in AI in the 90s, in the late 90s, right? So I kind of had got involved in it pretty early on in its cycle, pre the point where the industry got really excited about it all. And I think we took a very practical perspective all those years ago. Like, how do we apply search algorithms to deal with extremely large problems effectively? And we did pretty well. It has changed an awful lot since then. I think what is really interesting now are, I think, the combination of AI as the ability to consolidate and understand what is going on out there based on data. And I think the interesting things is how that data can be secure inside company data. So it's very targeted search and kind of amalgamation of information. And then I think in addition to that, it's the ability to analyze that information quickly and efficiently. So guided AI now is starting to become extremely valuable. The last piece of the puzzle is then generative AI, where you can actually say, okay, give me, for example, a piece of data based on the information, based on the analysis. Give me a document, a piece of information that I can use now to be able to present my perspective on this based on what I've guided you to go look at, dear AI tool.
The hype around AI is the mass adoption, the mass realization from the general public. The AV has been doing AI or a version of AI for a number of years, but a year ago or so, the entire public realized that, holy cow, there's this thing called AI, and I can go to a website and type in, write X, Y, or Z. That's where the hype is coming from, and it's twofold. Number one, it's this bell curve where, people suddenly realize the possibilities and they overblow the possibilities. And then there's this disillusion of what it really is capable of. The other side is the scare, is the fear behind, oh my gosh, AI is going to take our jobs. Oh my gosh, AI is going to take over the world, i.e. Skynet. But the truth is somewhere in the middle, and it is a very useful tool. But the hype is very real, and it probably will be overhyped for probably another year or so until everybody settles the heck down and starts using it on a more daily basis.
We have a number of opportunities, I think, from the collaboration perspective in the unified communication space to make meetings better using AI. And I think that the platform providers are taking a look at that. I think the vendors in the space are taking a look at that and trying to make sure that we are creating an experience that's a little bit more equitable, an experience where everyone can put their best face forward, and that there is enough context for what's happening on the screen, and that you hear that makes sense for making a better meeting experience.
As you think about it, just from a collaboration perspective, using it within a platform that you use every day, whatever platform you call your digital hub or your digital home, having it there as an assistant or a co-pilot, I think just speaks volumes of where we're going today, right? A lot of us, or a lot of folks, don't have admins or analysts or people they can quickly just tap on the shoulder to get certain information to help them do something or produce something. And having that AI assistant there, I think, will certainly help speed, you know, help to speed up those answers and help with those productivity questions and just various kind of use cases. So that's what you really use AI for. It's just to kind of help you be better.
This isn't my dad's AI. This really is different. One is that it is actually smarter. If you look at things like Zoom's intelligent director, it's not just doing different views of different cameras. It knows who the people are in the room and has 3 different cameras or whatever, and knows that the David in camera 1 is the David in camera 2, and gets the best view. It's smarter. But what really is the magic and the hype and the reality is the generative AI, the language modeling, the fact that it feels like there's someone talking to me. When I play with Chat, and I do play, I don't work, I play with ChatGPT. But when I play with it, it's not always right, but it's so engaging, and it's such a natural way to work with a sort. Once it gets the information right, it's such a natural way to work with something. It's very compelling. It is something different.
I think AI will have an impact from the standpoint of how organizations wish to work and get things accomplished. As an example, for UCC space, it's going to impact how one schedules meetings. It's going to impact what one has to do when they go into a room or office environment. And I think a lot of the tasks we've done historically, step by step, manually in the past, are going to be automated. When I go into a room, it's going to know I've gone to the room. It will deal with the lighting. It will deal with the acoustics. It will deal with the shades. When I need to connect to a meeting, I don't have to press all the buttons. I just say connect, and it takes care of that connection and then adjusting both my lighting and my audio. So I think a lot of the things we've found annoying in the past that were steps we had to take, which meant our meetings might be 10 to 15 minutes late until everybody gets on the meeting, are going to be handled by AI.
In the past, AI has been, in a sense, hiding in plain sight, doing things like taking things away, like noises and backgrounds and wrinkles. But this generative AI, the hype is really around the fact that I can go from 0 to 60 in a few seconds by giving it a prompt. I can ask it to write an email explaining my website's going to be down for a few hours due to upgrades. And I did do this exact example, and out comes 2 pages of some pretty well-written text. And so I'm not staring at a blank screen. I mean, maybe I go do edits. And I think that the part of the hype that has yet to hit is really where AI is able to do things based on we simply tell it the outcomes we're looking for. And so, for instance, I say, I want to survey my employees to figure out how they're feeling about the current work situation. And AI as the personal assistant, if it is indeed embedded in my Office suite, whether that's the Microsoft Office suite or the Google suite, it now could go ahead and craft the email, send the email out to the group, get the responses, be able to, collate and create some graphs based on that. And I think we will see Microsoft Copilot, promises to do that. It goes GA supposedly November 1st. So either very soon now, or if you're watching this, maybe it's already GA.
Now, to keep that current base, the equipment that is installed inside of that conference room, inside of that enterprise workplace, has to be working. Otherwise, you're opening up the door for competition. And the way that you keep it working is you enhance and embolden the workflow from the user so that when they walk into that conference room, it is a seamless experience. It is a working experience. And that sounds very simple, but now with AI taking the place, or at least, I don't want to say taking the place actually, but really supplementing and complementing the support that typically went in there that was previously reactive, and we're typically only getting a call after the room was down or not working correctly. Now your customers are walking into that space
then it's always working because you're being proactive because the device themselves are recognizing whether or not they're having an issue.
The piece that we all have to get over is, what are we actually looking for in terms of AI, right? Because it could be that I am looking to reach out to, for example, all the content that's out there to bring me resolution answers. Or it could be that AI is being used to structure how a room is being utilized or set up, et cetera. And it could be that it is doing a auto type of resolution because, AI is going out there. With UC, it could be that it's, can't remember what year it was, not too long ago, but where AI was starting to be integrated into taking the transcript of a meeting and helping you find a certain spot, right? To go remind yourself about something that was said or a task that maybe was assigned to you, or just more education, you have to go back and revisit something. So everybody has their different view on what AI is going to do for them. And every customer or every company is going to have a different idea about how they want AI to be used. So, I sometimes I worry when we use very overarching terms, because it means something different to everyone.
That's been one of the things that's been, I think, most attractive or has been most widely mentioned, is that AI allows you to tap into a skill category that you may not have, or it enhances your work, right? We have all these stories of people using ChatGPT where they input their weekly report, and then they have ChatGPT reformat and re-articulate a little bit in that sense. However, on the flip side, what I think is happening now is people are very interested in the creative end, but now they're looking at, well, what can this do for me? And so what we're going through right now is the approach of AI to start to change how your day works within your organization. And so we're seeing primarily on the platforms, and when I say platforms, I'm talking about Microsoft and Zoom, and then others are moving into it. But what we're seeing is these platforms harness AI to help eliminate or condense functions somebody would go through during the day.
What's different about this year is ease of use and the democratization of AI. And yes, it is around generative AI, around ChatGPT, but this is the first time, that a new technology has been introduced. And it's as easy to use by students, by executives, by marketing people, by engineers, by sales folks. And it's happened so quickly that anyone can go into ChatGPT, type in a prompt, and get useful information. Yes, there's questions about hallucinations. There's questions about accuracy. There's questions about, what is the intellectual property that is being generated. But as far as an ease of use and the availability to the masses, that's what's transformational about what's happened this year. It's not just something that's happening in the background. Yeah, when I use Waze or when I use, Google Maps, I know there's AI behind it, but I don't really actually see it. This is where it's actually present to the users, and that's, to me, it's been, the big change in 2023.
That's it for this week's 2023 Wrap podcast.
Join us next week when our topic will be hybrid working.